Hello and welcome back to Planet of Animation. I'm your host, Dennis Bithoulkas, and it's time for Saturday Morning Blast Off. Welcome, everybody. Before I get started, let me take care of some business first, and then we'll get down to it. If you like what you see here, like, share, and subscribe. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the pups at the very end here. Basically, what YouTube does takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible to one of the videos in my vast video library. And then if you like that, hit that subscribe button down below. If you want to know when I'll be on live again next, you get the bell down below. It's a 50-50 chance of YouTube actually notifying you. Best thing to do is go to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule up there. I change it out every week. And also I have all the links to my social media on there. So Twitter, Instagram, Patreon. No tiers set on the Patreon. I'm waiting until I hit 1,000 subs. And then when you guys give me money, I give you something in return. That's how I have it planned out. Also on that page, I have on suspendedfanimation.com, I have the link to this YouTube channel, my Facebook page, and a Facebook group page where you guys can post stuff and chat amongst yourselves. There we go. So let's get down to it, shall we? Tim Burton is developing a live action Addams Family TV series right now. And it's got multiple services bidding on it. So Netflix, Apple Plus, I don't think Disney's, vying for it at the moment, but everyone else is. So yeah, so yes, he's working on a live action TV series for it. I can't remember. Did he do the Addams Family movie, the live action movie, or is that somebody else? I honestly can't remember offhand. Although the second one, Addams Family Values, was actually really fucking funny, especially with the whole Thanksgiving "Eat Me" musical number. Yeah, that was really, really fucking funny. So, yeah, live action Addams Family show once again. What is it? 60, 70 years later. So why not? Sure. We could do that. Yeah, it's 60 years later. I had to think about that for a second. So not bad. Here's something that is bad though, that is going to Disney Plus. That Willow series that Ron Howard kept threatening us with is now officially a go at Disney Plus. With John M. Chu set to direct. Now, if you don't know who John M. Chu is, that's fine. Quite honestly, he is most known for Crazy Rich Asians, the movie, which wasn't bad. It just, I don't know, it didn't really wow me on all that. Other than I finally found out who the Aquafina was, and I'm like, okay, yeah. That was, a couple of years ago, of course, that he directed that. But yeah, he set to direct this series. I'm not looking forward to it, quite honestly. I wasn't a big fan of the original Willow. I think I had aged out by the time that movie came to be. I think it was geared towards more like small kids, like 8-year-olds and stuff like that. And I was already well into my teens at that point. So yeah, I was not the target demographic for Willow. And also, I was kind of pissed off that Mad Mardigan was not in it a lot more than he was supposed to be, at least as advertised. And yeah, that's what I was looking for more than anything else. Hey, Movie Fanobi and Morks. But yeah, we've got that going on. Supposedly, they're bringing back the original cast minus Val Kilmer, of course, because Val Kilmer's got the throat cancer thing going on. So he's not acting really anymore. I think he might have had a cameo in the Top Gun nostalgia thing. So here's what it is. Again, I keep talking about this. I keep beating a dead horse to death. I'm fucking tired of these nostalgia things reviving 40, 50-year-old movie franchises that really have nothing more to say than to retread everything all over again. I really don't need to see like Bill and Ted Face the Music, right? Bill and Ted Face the Music. It was a cute idea. I felt it fell short. You can always go and take a look at my is it worth my time on that one. I go into it ad infinitum. But stuff that just doesn't need to be done, like the upcoming Ghostbusters Afterlife. Yes, we're gonna have the old gang come back or whoever's left alive here. But they're not gonna be the main focus of this. It's gonna be like, Ghostbusters, the next generation, I guess you could say. That's fine. That's perfectly fine if you're handing off the torch, but as long as you do something new and not reinvent what you've already done. Terminator Dark Fate again is a good example of this, where you're reviving a fucking franchise again and just telling the same story all over again. Um, I really don't want to see the same story all over again. I really don't. I'm bored of it. Move on. Yeah. So Stanley says, I'm hearing this for the first time from you, Dennis. Tell me more. I would like to subscribe to your newsletter. Yeah, yeah. Exactly, Mufinobi. Continue the story or create something new. Have something new to say about it. Move on otherwise, do something new. There are tons of shit to choose from. Over here, I've got lots and lots of books for you to choose from. There's stories galore that haven't been told yet. And yes, I know new is scary to executives who want a steady cash stream, which doesn't work in this day and age. You need to branch out and try something new. Okay, now I'm down off my soapbox. So speaking of franchises, the James Bond movie No Time to Die has been moved more times than I don't know. I was going to go someplace with that, and I don't have an analogy at that point. It's been moved a shit ton. So right now, Variety has been saying that No Time to Die is being shopped around to streaming services with a $600 million price tag. So they being the MGM, is now shopping around No Time to Die to streaming services for $600 million. They're basically just trying to recoup their money at this point because they are hurting for money and they need that money that cash flow to come in. And so they're like, you know what, we're going to cut our losses. And I'm pretty sure what they did is they said, okay, it probably costs us about 250 million to make. We double that's 500 million, and then we add a little bit more to pad our pocket, 600 million. So if someone downgrades us on this and says, oh, we'll do it for 500 million, we break even. So yeah. So Stanley Tweedle, wow, Burton is really going out of his wheelhouse now with the Addams Family. Yeah, I know. He's branching out. Mufino says, I've been watching Misfits and I'm impressed it wasn't inspired from a comic. Original series creation, but judging by the way Hellstrom is going, it's not great. I agree with you. I'm not looking forward to the second episode. If it's going to be as muddled as the first episode, I'm fairly sure that the second episode's just going to be as shitty. Yeah. You can tell how excited I am by looking at my face. Yeah. I honestly don't remember. Misfits is the British series, right? If I remember correctly. I think I was going to watch it and then I forgot about it, and then I remembered and then I forgot where it was, and I was going to watch it and then something else came up and then squirrel. So that's what happens. Yeah. So Joe Greer actually brought up this story to me in the group page on Facebook there. Batman Death in the Family is going to be, of course, be released on physical media, so Blu-ray, 4K, all that kind of stuff, and then also streaming as well. So you can buy it digitally, or you can just rent it digitally, whatever. But there's going to be differences. So this Batman Death in the Family movie is going to be like a choose your own adventure, where you can actually choose the outcome of in certain points in the movie, and you get a different ending. You get stuff that happens only for the physical media, so your Blu-ray, DVD, all that kind of stuff. That's the only one that's going to have that option. If you do the streaming service, they're going to have multiple versions of it. I guess they're going to have like 4 different versions of the movie, and you can watch those 4 different versions and see how they play out. But still, there's supposed to be other variations on it. And so, yeah, that is what's going to happen. And again, Netflix was able to do this with the Black Mirror movie, and they were able to do it successfully. But that's Netflix because they have a set number of subscribers. They have their they probably set aside a server for it as well, just to have that happen. Whereas if you're going through like Voodoo or you know Movies Anywhere or something like that, or Google Play, they're not going to have that bandwidth to have people keep switching over. And yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. So, hey, Keith. But yeah, it's out there. Speaking of being out there, The Meg is getting a sequel, but with a different director. John Turteltaub is not returning for the sequel, but I guess Jason Statham is for The Meg. I didn't see it. Shark movies don't do it for me. So, yeah. Yeah, especially giant shark movies. It just, yeah. Usually what ends up happening when you do shark movies like that is especially if you get something that's really, really popular, kind of like Jaws, you end up panicking an entire population or entire world of people, and they go out hunting these things, which are already at extinction levels anyway at this point. So, yeah. How was my banana pudding, Keith? It was fucking delicious, is what I'll say. It was worth the $8, is really what it was. I was kind of skeptical at first, and I dug into it, and I'm like, "Fuck, this is actually really damn good pudding." Thanks for remembering. But yeah, it's really damn good pudding. Small little hole in the wall place that, yeah, I was kind of surprised. It had been open, like I said, it stayed open. It started opening up in February, I want to say. With the pandemic happening, which was kind of a weird time, and he's been thriving. So, yeah, all it is a storefront with a deli fridge and a cash register and one person, because that's all they need. There you go. And it's got Nilla wafers inside the pudding as well. Yeah. Can you provide the name in the show notes? To the banana pudding place. It's just called Extraordinary Banana Pudding. It's in La Mesa. I mean, there's only one place. You're not going to be able to really. I mean, it's not. He's not big. He's only local. Yeah, and quite honestly, you really don't want to go out to La Mesa. It's next to Santee out there. So, which again had another incident of racism that made national news. Great to go, Clan T. Yeah. Stanley Tweedle says, I heard someone, yeah. Well, no, that's bleach, Stanley. It's supposed to. And there I go. I get struck and yeah. No, don't fucking drink bleach, please. Don't be fucking stupid. You know? Speaking of stupid, this one I don't believe, quite honestly, and that they're actually, well, I do believe this because Disney's hurting for money right now. They really are. Actually, they really are hurting for money. So, Disney Plus is going to be doing Mando Mondays. Well, actually, it's going to be on YouTube. It's going to be a live stream channel on YouTube called Mando Mondays. And basically, what they're going to do is they're going to take the various actors from The Mandalorian, and they're going to be hawking one item for sale on the Disney shop uh, website is what they're going to do. And of course, it starts this Monday. I'm gonna tune in just because I want to see what they're gonna do. I want to see if it's gonna be like QVC. I don't know if you guys remember QVC from cable, where they would sell shit 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and every now and then they'd have a 12-hour block of some D-list celebrity or Z-list celebrity that would come on and sell some stupid shit, and you're just wondering like, what the fuck is that? Um, yeah, it cuts hair and it sucks. The Flowbee, yeah. Just hook it up to your vacuum cleaner. But yeah, that's what they're doing. Is they're taking, one item a week and selling it. It's Mandalorian related. And yeah. That's right. They did do Star Trek hours. You're right, Penn. I forgot about that. I tried blocking that shit out. I remember at 3 o'clock in the morning, flipping channels going, what the fuck is this? And I'd sit there for about like a good 15 minutes, like looking at it going, I don't need Star Trek commemorative plates with, the flip top action figure lid. No, I don't need those. Yeah. Penn says actually not a bad idea. It's all they have. Uh, I don't know. And you put Baby Yoda's face on anything or the child's face on anything now, and it sells. Quite honestly, people will snap that shit up. As I look at my, you know, the child Chia Pet that I've got sitting over off on the side, still in the box, by the way. So that's all you really need to do. You just need to advertise it, and I guess this is their advertising for it, which is Jesus Christ, man. I mean. Facebook people will probably go out loving this. Probably. Yeah. I remember, Penn. It was bad. Yes, Baby Yoda face masks, Baby Yoda pencil holders, Baby Yoda nose warmers, you know, uh, Baby Yoda bidets, um, Baby Yoda toilet paper, uh, Baby Yoda merkins, that kind of stuff. Bone broth mugs. Yes, they actually do have a Baby Yoda tiki mug. I've seen it out there. And I believe he is drinking from a cup. I want a Mando or Daft Punk facelift. Oh, face shield. Okay. Why? Those don't do anything. Hey, Raymond K. Hessel. So, yeah, that's happening. So Archer has been renewed for a 12th season. And just a reminder, Venture Brothers is still canceled after season 6, but Archer's got a 12th season coming out. It's been renewed for a 12th season. Not that I'm bitter about that or anything, but yeah, there you go. I'm not the biggest Archer fan. I know there's Archer fans that are out there. I tried, I really did, and just didn't do it for me at all. It really didn't. But good on them. 12 years, I guess. You're a fan, Raymond? Well, there you go. It's got a 12th season coming out. We should be used to that kind of stupidity. Yeah. Well, speaking of Venture Brothers, Doc Hammer has said there were talks going on still. They were trying to shop it around elsewhere, but of course, that fell through. Now they're talking with Adult Swim. I think the negotiations are right now to do a final either animated movie or a special or something like that to kind of tie up loose ends, because they said they would never have left if they knew this was going to be the final season. They would have never left it with Dean, for Hank walking out the door, away from family. Just wouldn't have happened. So yeah, they want to end it well, and so I think that's in negotiations right now, is what Doc Hammer said. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of good shows that were just canceled way before their time. Just a lot of good shows. I still love, and this is the only thing I loved about Family Guy was when Family Guy came back to Fox after being on Adult Swim for so long, and I think Comedy Central and a few other places, and just getting huge numbers. And Fox brought them back, and the very first episode was Peter saying, "We're back." Well, you know what they said? They said the only way we would come back is if, and then he reads off all the list of names of shows that Fox has canceled over their, I think, their history at that point in time. And I mean, it goes on for like a good 2 minutes. He goes, only if all those shows are canceled, then we'll come back. And I thought that was pretty damn funny. That was actually the only thing I liked out of that. Keith Hamilton says someone will pick up Venture Brothers. Futurama was canceled before it came back. Uh, yeah, by Comedy Central, and then it was canceled again after 2 years. I don't think anyone's going to pick up Venture Brothers since it's only a two-man operation and it takes so long for them to get stuff out. And I think that is the drawback. If they had a faster turnaround time, sure. But yeah, not gonna happen. Which show, say Firefly, of course, was the most heartbreaking in my opinion? Man. Space Above and Beyond. Quite honestly, the way it ended on a huge cliffhanger. I mean, their spaceship that they're in explodes. That was the season finale. That to me was one of those things. That was my first Fox, like, fuck you, Fox, because yeah, that was a good show. Sarah Connor Chronicles too. That was a good one. But yeah, Space Above and Beyond. They were also one of the first TV series to hire an ex-porn actress as a regular, by the way, too. Just so you know. And now you know. And knowing's half the battle. G.I. Joe. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, you know what? Sci-fi, it's become a joke now, Keith Hamilton. So every time Sci-Fi announces a new series, when I posted on Facebook, I said the soon to be canceled series at Sci-Fi has been greenlit. And yeah, because it's NBC Universal, and NBC Universal fucking hates Sci-Fi. They really do. They will cancel Sci-Fi at a drop of a hat. Sci-Fi shows, I should say. Yeah, she was one of the AIs, Penn. She was actually one of the main AIs. And yeah, she was a former well-known porn actress, and she quit porn and was trying to get into mainstream acting. I think that was her only I think she did one movie afterwards, like a legitimate movie, and then that was it for her. She was never able to really act again. Yeah. It was called Space 2063 there. Okay, that's weird. Is Winona going to survive? Probably not, Joker. It's basically what is happening is Sci-Fi is pressuring IDW to cough up the money that they owe for the franchising rights on it. And because IDW has to pay part of the production cost as well. And IDW has so many money problems going on right now that it's probably not going to happen. I would be very doubtful if Winona Earp goes one more season beyond what's already happening. Plus, it's on Sci-Fi, and it's in its fifth season, something like that, which is way beyond the sell date for any Sci-Fi Channel series. Usually, they get canceled after season 2 or 3. Actually, Winona Earp is pretty good, Stanley. I liked it. It's fun. It's not like one of those things I go out of my way to go and see, but it's got a fun premise to it. It's gone on way too long at this point, but it's got a fun premise. But if I had to choose if that survived or something else, good was going to survive, I'd axe Winona Earp fairly quickly. Yeah, it says the guy who watches Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I'm going to keep bringing that up to my dying day, I think, Stanley, about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I have to. So, Agent Carter, that was actually one that was really disappointing. That, just because and I fucking hate to say this, but it was because it was a show led by a woman, really what it was. And I don't think a lot of people, ABC moved around the schedule too much. One, they didn't promote it. Two, they put it on, really shitty times. Three, and then they expected it to do well, which, those of us who are fans are actually trying to search and find Agent, Peggy Carter there, or Agent Carter. Agent Carter, that's what it was. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's not my favorite show by any means, Stanley. Winona Earp. As a matter of fact, I haven't even watched the new series, the new season. And I'm not going on my way to go and see it. Yeah. So, speaking of other shitty news, Seth MacFarlane and Danny McBride are working on a Smokey and the Bandit TV series. Why? Again, excuse me. I hate to say this about my generation, but we need to get out of the fucking nostalgia rut that we're in. Stop fucking making shit from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. Make something new. I'm tired of these reboots, rehashes, re-nostalgia. Sequel, which, actually is just a reboot in disguise. After 40 years, fucking do something new. I don't want to see Smokey and the Bandit. It's not going to be, how Smokey and the Bandit ends. It ends with a, helicopters flying overhead. Bandit ends up on the TV news, crashing his Trans Am and running from the law. And you see him on a cops kind of thing with the overhead light on him from the camera, and he gets tased and shot. There you go. The end. So, yeah. Is this deja vu or a glitch in the Matrix? It's both. Joker. Yeah. Yeah. And what is he going to be smuggling? He's not going to be smuggling cores across state lines. Is he going to be smuggling drugs at this point? Meth? Actually, that would make a perfect show right there. Is Bandit, is now smuggling meth and crack from what is it? Some southern state to another southern state. There you go. There's your reboot and your update version of Smokey and the Bandit. Oh wait, they did that. It was called Narco. Yeah. Fuck. Yeah, and we had BJ and the Bear. Exactly. Yeah. Update an old 70s show to modern video games. Why? Yeah. I don't know. It's just horrible. So Jamie Foxx is going to play a vampire hunter in Netflix's movie Day Shift. And so why is it called Day Shift? Because his day job is he's a pool cleaner in order to, make ends meet, of course, and also as a cover for being a vampire hunter at night. I wish I could make this shit up, but that is actually what is going to be. That's what the movie entails there. Yes, that was the name of a TV show. Stanley, was called BJ and the Bear. Greg Evigan from 1980s, like mid 1980s, I believe is what it was. And Bear was an orangutan. So essentially, what this was when the Clint Eastwood, Every Which Way But Loose movies had kind of died down because I think they did what, like three of them, something like that. And this was supposed to be the capitalizing on that, that whole thing. Yes, that's exactly what it was about, Stanley. That's exactly what it was about. Only he traveled cross country in a big rig doing that. Coming to a rest stop near you. I'm telling you, man, the 80s had some really weird shit. It really did. At least they did something different. They tried something different. Man. Yeah. Here's some good news. Away was canceled by Netflix after one season. Thank God. If you go back and watch my It's Worth My Time about Away on Netflix, that's the Hillary Swank, we're going to Mars, but we're going to have every fucking possible problem on the way there because, it's drama, a Lifetime drama network kind of thing. Yeah, it's been canceled. Thank whatever deity was involved with that one. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Hillary Swank can now be free to go and guest star in Cobra Kai. Remember, she was in the Karate Kid series. She was trained by Mr. Miyagi, so she can show up in Cobra Kai. Raymond K. Hessel says, doesn't having a job limit your ability to effectively kill vampires? That's what Supernatural taught us. I know. That's what the whole movie's supposed to be about, I guess, Raymond. Is that he, maybe he kills them with pool cleaning implements. We don't know. Maybe that's part of it. And so he needs to clean pools in order to get money to get more pool supplies, which also kill vampires. See, Hakuna Matata, circle of life. I'm just spitballing here. Stanley says, but Another Life got a second season. Yeah, it did. I reported that, I think, earlier this year. I don't know why Second Life got a second season. I really don't. Although Netflix has been retroactively killing shit like they did with Glow. So Second Life or Another Life might not get a second life. It might be its only life. Yeah. Only strong female roles for Miss Swank. The one that she did in Karate Kid was a strong female role. I mean, she can come back. Yeah. I think it would work. Oh, let's see. I've only got two more things left. So, a photo from the set of The Batman, which is back in production now that Pattinson has beaten. Well, he's recovered from COVID, not beaten. He's recovered from COVID-19, and he's back on set, I guess. So, a photo from the set of The Batman has shown extras dressed up in Halloween costumes, and it's kind of interesting the Halloween costumes they're wearing. The one picture I can see Superman, Wonder Woman, Hawk Girl. You see the wings of Hawk Girl just behind the woman dressed as Wonder Woman, and then someone dressed as the Creeper. Now, I thought the Creeper was kind of an interesting choice in this, which means if he's putting this one in, he being the director, Matt Reeves, then I might have a little more credibility on that script, a little more faith in the credibility, I should say, than originally I thought about this. I don't know if that's actually the case. It looks like someone dressed as the Creeper, but I can't be too sure. Uh, Halloween version of the Creeper. It really looks like a shitty, Halloween costumes, like the ones you buy off the shelf that never fit right, and they have the padding going on and all that stuff. So yeah. No, it's called Battinson, is what it's called. Stanley. That's what he's called now. Is the Battinson. Maybe budget cuts. It could be. They'll fix it in post with CGI. That's how you do it. Fix it in post. So the final thing I've got here is that Joe Hill has said that he's been putting off making his directorial debut because he's not really into it all that much, really. But he said he would do his directorial debut if he was given the chance to remake his dad's directorial debut movie, which was Maximum Overdrive. I don't know if anyone remembers that movie with Emilio Estevez and the truck with the Green Goblin head on the front. Yeah. So Joe Hill says that, he would make his directorial debut remaking his dad's directorial debut movie, which was Maximum Overdrive. I forgot that Stephen King had directed that movie, quite honestly. And it explains a lot why it was so bad. The soundtrack was killer. But the rest of it was really shitty. And he says he wants to put in like Tesla, the giant Tesla trucks and stuff like that, which would make sense. I could see that happening. But yeah, I don't know. That maybe I could see doing an update. So if you ever want to do remakes, as Michael Caine said, you don't do remakes of good movies. You do remakes of the really shitty movies. That's what you remake. You don't do remake of good movies. Yep, creepy AI trucks. That's exactly it, Stanley. Yeah. And again, like I said, I'm tired of remakes. I'm tired of reboots. I'm tired of nostalgia movies. Yes, I am going to talk about that again. Because I really am tired of it. And just stop paying for them. You're going to see them come out on video anyway in 3 months after they come out on, whatever streaming service, because right now they're not coming out to theaters. So just wait for them to come out, on rental or, Netflix or HBO or something like that. The Killer Coke Machine from Outer Space. Yeah, Stranger Things is good. Although I'm having a feeling this might be its final season, Stanley. Everyone's getting too big for their britches on this, and also I think it's run its course because by now, this should be about the late '80s, is what I'm thinking, is somewhere around there. So it should be when Russia is getting ready to fall. The communism, I should say, is getting ready to fall. So, yeah. It is nostalgia. So that's a different kind of nostalgia though, Stanley. So what they're doing is they've taken something and made a new story, but they are working off of a time period. That's a period piece where you are setting things in a certain time period and doing it that way. Nostalgia movie for me is where you're taking a Ghostbusters and basically you're just redoing it all over again and trying to recapture that nostalgia of that movie by maybe having a new character utter one of the lines or act in a certain way that one of the other characters did in the original movie. Or in the case of Terminator Dark Fate, just redoing the fucking movie all over again, but just changing some aspects of it. And, saying, oh, it's all brand new again when it's really not. And that's a nostalgia movie, is just trying to mine the movie that came before it and just remake the same movie over and over again. It's boring. Stranger Things is not a nostalgia movie. It's a show that is set in a time period. And then yes, it works off some people's nostalgia because of that time period. Yeah. But it never is a nostalgia movie. Does that make sense? Do I need to draw a diagram? Do I need a chalkboard behind me like Doc Brown and Back to the Future 2? And it's an alternate 1985, Marty. Yes, I need a chalkboard. And I need to explain it? Okay. Speaking of Back to the Future, Back to the Future 4 is not happening, thankfully. Yeah. Basically, they said that's dead in the water, and I'm good. I'm good with that. Yes, Morks, I actually talked about it last week. I talked about The Last Starfighter last week. And it's not a reboot, it's a sequel. And it's the original writer and another guy who has written some Star Wars books or Star Wars movie, Rogue One. Yeah. No problem, Morks. At least you didn't ask me to just go over exactly everything I just said since the beginning of this video. Boofanobi. Stanley Tweedle says, I'm so stupid. I'm still watching Discovery in the hope for good Star Trek. Wow. I'm sorry, man. You're 3 seasons in, though, at this point. So, I mean, it's... If you haven't found it by, the end of season 1, I'm pretty sure, I did that with Farscape, man. I was I hate to say this. I know I'm gonna get shit from Viking Bitch on this one, but I went through the entire first season. I was expecting it to get better for me, and it didn't. It just was not the show for me. Yeah. Parasitic ice? What the fuck is that? How do you get parasitic ice? I don't understand that one. Yeah, I know, Joker. I didn't get it. Right. It was above my head. What is it? What are the other ways of saying that you're stupid? Is that you lack you're out of your depth, Donnie. No, it just wasn't for me. That's all. It wasn't that it was complex or anything like that. I was bored by it, quite honestly. And it didn't do anything for me. It happens. There's other shit that, other people are going to get bored by that I like. And yeah. Again, it's called difference of opinion. We actually all have them. We have various tastes and experiences and things like that. And that's what makes things different for everybody. There's actually this whole thing about that's going on in science right now, actually in physics, talking about reality and how it's perceived by different people. And there was a theory out there that depending on the viewer, a reality is different depending on the perspective of the viewer. And this was actually, I'm not kidding you, this is actually theoretically or mathematically proven or disproven, excuse me, that that was not the case. That reality is a certain way for everybody, set certain way. And yes, while other people have different views of that reality and how they perceive it, reality does not change based on the viewer. It's a tough one to grasp on that one, but yeah. Stanley says, I can understand that it was a different time when Farscape was first aired, and sometimes Dennis just doesn't get it. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Sorry, man. It's an easy lob. I mean, it really is. Raymond, go back and take. I mean, this is just recent, like this week. They actually did some calculations on this. I don't know. I haven't done the math because, quite honestly, that math is slightly above what I learned. I didn't get into differential equations, quite honestly. I was close. I mean, I went through calculus 2 and we were just starting to go into differential equations. And I'm like, fuck this. I can't do this anymore. My brain's tapped out. Yeah. I was like 12 units away from a minor in physics. I think 18 units away from a minor in astrophysics. And there was one other one too that I was like 12 units away from. And I was just like, no, I just want to graduate now at this point. Because I remember I needed to take, I would have to take differential equations, which was like a 4-unit class. And then there are some physics classes as well on top of that I would have to take. Mm-mm. But I digress on that one. Stanley, I'm just giving you shit. You know this. Your opinion is your opinion, as is mine. And if you like the show, you like the show, man. Stand by it. It's all in good fun when I rib you about that. Never take it seriously. Penn says there is still a lot worse shows than Agents. It always yeah, there's always Cloak and Dagger. Or The Gifted. Oh boy, there's always The Gifted. Oof. That was a bad. Inhumans as well, yeah. The Passage. Oh, wow. Yeah, The Passage was bad. The Passage was, I think the name of the area that tube of shit that came out of called The Passage. Yeah. Sorry, that was just it was a joke that was trying to work its way out, but it was half form, much like The Passage. See, that one worked. That one worked. Mork says, why do people say Farscape when Dennis says bad shows? No, I was saying Farscape, Morks. That was me. No one else mentioned it. And I didn't say it was bad. I just said it wasn't for me. I couldn't get into it. Keith says I'm 4 years short of my degree. I don't blame you, man. It's not for everybody. It really isn't. And I went through that sucker twice, man. I got 2 different degrees. Yeah. Penn says, and the Hugh Laurie site. Oh God, yeah. Avenue 9. What a fucking piece of shit that was. Thanks, Stanley. It came out a little soft. We'll try to firm it up next time. But you got to remember, it was kind of dropped on the fly there, so it does happen. I was just going to let that one lay there for a second. Yeah. No, it wasn't dropped on a literal fly. It was dropped on the right. Oh God, now I'm getting loopy at this point. And Pepper's out cold. Right before the show, actually literally about a minute or two before I went on the air here. So Pepper was in my lap here. She jumped up and was sitting here and being all nice and cuddly and whatnot. And then she looks at me in the face and goes, burp. I'm like, oh, so that's what you came up here for. Thanks. And then right after that, she farts too. And then she gets down off of me. And I'm like, bitch, really? You know? Yeah, I know we haven't hit the hour mark yet, Penn. We're about 10 minutes away from that. I don't know if I can pad it out any longer. But yeah, she likes to think she's the best dog. Mm-hmm. She's curled up in a ball asleep right now. She doesn't give a shit. Although every now and then I can tell when she's lying about sleeping because her ear twitches, and I know she's listening to me. So it seems like I have to blabber on for 11 more minutes. I don't know about that. You really don't want to hear that. What could I blabber about? What am I watching? I'm trying to think of what else I'm watching. Well, I'm watching Hellstrom, of course. I'm covering that. Do I dress up my dog? Hell no. She has a sweater, Raymond, a sweater, because sometimes it gets cold in the mornings, in the wintertime. And so she does have a sweater because what can I say? She won't go outside unless she's got, oh no, not for Halloween. I once got her a t-shirt, the dog shirt that said Wonder Woman on it. And I put it on her and I took a picture of it because it was the most depressing thing I've ever seen. She's just sitting there, she's just kind of hunched over and not doing anything and just looking really depressed. And I said, "Do you want me to take the shirt off of you?" And she kind of like looks up. And so I pulled the shirt off her and she shakes and then like kind of runs around and her tail wags and everything. She's like, "Fuck yeah, I'm free." Yeah, she doesn't like wearing clothing. Unless it's functional, then she'll wear it. She actually had a little Hawaiian shirt thing that I got her. So she had surgery on her back. She had a little lump about like yay big on her back, and it wasn't anything cancerous or anything. It got tested and everything. It was just kind of an irritation, whenever you're brushing her. So I had that removed. Um, when she was out, they do her teeth cleaning, so they knock her out. This is all, of course, stuff you're really riveted to hear about on this one. So they removed the mask, but of course, to keep her from biting at the stitches, it had to be covered. And so I got her this little, it was literally a little Hawaiian shirt for dogs, and it buttoned up with Velcro and underneath her. She hated that shirt, just hated that shirt. But she tolerated it because it let her move and stuff like that, and it was better than the inflatable collar, which she really hated even more. So yeah. But that one I wanted to put little sunglasses on her and make her the little Lebowski. Yeah. That one was a funny picture. She hated that shirt. I still have it floating around over here. Yeah, because I bought her that and another shirt. The other shirt never saw the light of day because it was like a pullover t-shirt kind of thing, and she hated that one too. She hates any kind of clothing. She hates collars. She has an escape-proof harness so that, I can walk her. Because otherwise she'd shake out of that and get the hell out of that too. And that's how she is. Yeah. And then of course she barks at dogs like 5 times larger than her and then runs behind me. So she's a shit disturber as well. Yeah. The dog clothes collection get bigger by the minute. No, it doesn't. She has 3, literally 3 things. One was the Hawaiian shirt. The other one was the T-shirt. Again, the T-shirt was like a buck 98 because it was on sale, and I was like, sure, I'll get that in the because I wasn't sure which one would work. And then she's got a sweater for notice I did that finger, the sweater for wintertime, which she needs a new sweater actually, by the way, because it's yeah, it's getting there. It's getting old, and wintertime's coming up. I finally got through an entire day without turning on the air conditioning. Well, no, the once I buy the new sweater, the old sweater gets retired and goes into the trash, is what ends up happening, Stanley. So it'll still stay at 3. And actually, the little T-shirt thing might become a dust cloth, is what that'll be. So it might even go down to 2. Yeah, because I really don't think she's gonna ever wear the Hawaiian shirt ever again, unless there's another surgery, which I hopefully not. So, yes, I do, Raymond. I think about getting another dog, but not in a condo. So I'd have to get a house and do it that way. I wouldn't put another dog in here in a condo. So So, what else do I have going on for the rest of this week? Tomorrow is going to be episode 2 of Hellstrom. We'll see how that goes. That should be a lot of fun. Monday I'll be off. Tuesday will be another episode of Is It Worth My Time? And this time around it's Briscoe County Jr., The Adventures of Briscoe County Jr. Wednesday I'll be off. Thursday will be another episode of Is It Worth My Time? I don't know what I'm doing as of yet. Friday will be the season 2 premiere of The Mandalorian. That's right, The Mandalorian returns on Friday. And then, of course, we wrap everything back around again to Saturday and Saturday morning blast off. Yes, there we go. I don't know, Stanley, you might like Hellstrom. I'm not enjoying it right now. Let's just say that. And that's only one episode in. But then again, I know the comic that it's based off the 70s comic. It's also the last thing that Jeff Loeb worked on. He's the executive producer on this still, and it's pretty fucking bad. Well, the first episode was just incoherent. It was all over the place, didn't know what it wanted to do, and made no sense. So, yeah, there we go. And as Penn has been putting up there, she's put up all the links. If you like what you see here, like, share, and subscribe. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video. It pops up at the very end here. And if you like that, what's in that video there, hit that subscribe button. And if you want to know when I'm going live again next, hit the bell down below. It's a 50-50 chance of YouTube actually notifying you. Best thing to do is go to suspendedfanimation.com, where all the links to my social media are up there, as well as the link to this YouTube channel, my Facebook page, and a Facebook group page where you guys can post stuff and chat amongst yourselves. Stanley says, I hope Mando gets a little longer. 45 minutes would be good. I think they're hour-long episodes now, Stanley. I don't know for sure. What's from Tiger King, Raymond? The shirt? No. Yes, that's right. I'm 69 people away from 1,000 subscribers. Yeah. Jeff Loeb. No, Jeff Loeb is his name. JEPHLOEB. He worked in comics and then skipped over into Marvel TV because Ike Perlmutter, was the one that kind of brought him over into that. And he's worked on all the Marvel TV stuff up until now. So this is his very last Marvel TV show. He's been fired from Marvel TV. And Kevin Feige has moved Marvel TV over into Marvel Studios under them in preparation for the whole Disney Plus series of Marvel shows, as well as there's some stuff that's coming out on Hulu as well. Which I don't know. I'm not looking forward to the whole Patton Oswalt MODOK series. The more I keep seeing of it, the less I like of it, and I'm not too sure where it's going. And I don't see that really lasting longer than a season if it's going to go the way I think it's going to go. If it's going to go full out comedy, I'm fairly sure, which I know that's what it's going to do. It's going to go, all out comedy, but I don't think it's going to be in a good way, kind of like Harley Quinn did. It's going to get canceled by Kevin Feige fairly quickly. Yeah. And with good reason. Yeah. So Penn, I skipped that news because no one else is reporting it other than the smaller trades. So Deadline hasn't reported it. Variety hasn't reported it. Hollywood Reporter hasn't reported that. Nobody of the reputable trades is saying anything about Jared Leto returning as a Joker. The only thing that's happening is that Snyder is folding in some old footage of Jared Leto as the Joker, which he had already filmed. There's also talk of him putting in Joe Manganiello or whatever his name is as Deathstroke as well into this, because he had filmed some stuff as Deathstroke for that movie as well, and it got cut out. So I think he's going to fold in all that old footage. He got $70 million for this recut from Warner Brothers as a budget. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous. Don't think, I really don't think it's going to be all that good. Yeah. Stanley Thrill says, haven't seen Justice League, not interested in the Snyder mints. Yeah. It's not going to be any better. And I'm not interested in returning to the Snyder Murderverse, quite honestly. I'd rather stay in the universe that Shazam started. That universe was actually pretty cool. I liked that universe where you weren't killing everybody all the fucking time at the drop of a hat. That was actually what I'm looking for from a DC universe. And that was where I thought they were going, where they were heading to until this release the Snyder Cut bullshit started. Yeah. Yeah, Shazam was an awesome surprise, especially that ending too. That the very end of it just made me laugh. I saw that in the theater, and that that was the first time I actually wanted to stay in the theater and rewatch it again right afterwards in a long time. Yeah, Shazam is just good fun. It's just good fun, and it's also comic accurate. It's it really is. It's actually a lot of fun and comic accurate. What more do you need off of that? And it's paced well. There's no dead periods within that movie at all. Um, yeah, that's the way they should be making these DC movies, but no, they're going back to the fucking Snyder Murderverse. Do you think Constantine will come back? Hellblazer? Yeah, they will eventually. Right now, there's a huge shakeup going on at Warner Media, or whatever they're calling themselves this week, because of the whole AT&T buyout merger. So that's why you've heard that Black Adam was put on the back burner or has been delayed, supposedly, is because of this whole Warner Media culling that's going on. There's going to be a lot of heads that roll right now. So everything I've been hearing about or reading about in the industry is saying that a lot of heads are going to roll, and once it clears from that, so the whole DC stuff that happened, that DC bloodbath that happened a couple of months ago, that I reported on, that was the beginning of what's going on with Warner Media as well. So they did all the DC cullings; those are finally settling down and getting into their places. And now Warner Media is going to go through the same thing. So you're going to see people at Warner Brothers, HBO, Cinemax, Turner, all that kind of stuff are going to get axed across the board, and they're going to be pared down because AT&T wants to save as much money as possible, and you're going to see quality probably drop as well because AT&T does not like spending money at this point. They overpaid is what happened. And they're trying to recoup their losses now at this point. Stanley Trail says, Man of Steel killed my interest in the Murderverse. I only watched Wonder Woman and Shazam after that. Yeah, I agree with you. Man of Steel pissed me the fuck off. It really did. Nah, Joe Greer, on what I just said, or in general? Are you doing the David Crosby meh kind of thing for Eddie Van Halen, or what? What's going on there? Speaking of which, by the way, fuck you, David Crosby. You fucking hack. Oh, I didn't know who Eddie Van Halen was. I didn't know what he did. Yeah, fuck you. For the job cuts. No, it's going to happen. Everyone's talking about it. Everyone is talking about the job cuts coming. But yeah. So, all right. With that said, I'm going to let you guys go for the day. Thank you to everybody joining me today in the chat. And thank you for getting this far in this probably rambly video. It talks about my dog and stuff like that. I will see you again tomorrow for Hellstrom. Release you, demon. The power of Christ compels you. Get the fuck out. Your mother sucks cocks in hell. Um, oh, by the way, I just before I leave, I have to say I've been watching The Last Kids on Earth, which is actually pretty fucking funny. And also Mark Hamill is one of the voices of one of the characters, and Bruce Campbell is one of the voices of one of the characters in there. And they both played demons, monsters, I guess you could say. And at one point, their two characters are back to back and they're fighting zombies. It's a complicated story. And the character voiced by Mark Hamill says, "God, I wish I had a chainsaw." And the character voiced by Bruce Hamill says, or by Bruce Campbell says, "God, I wish I had a laser sword," which I thought was fucking funny. It's on Netflix, by the way, Penn. The Last Kids on Earth, and I started laughing. But there was also, God, what else was it from that one? No, it was God, there was another show, and I can't remember where it's from, but instead of Your Mother Sucks Cocks in Hell, which of course comes from The Exorcist, it was Your Mother Dates Jocks in oh God, Your Mother Dates Jocks in Yale or something like that. I can't remember what it was. It was a cleaned up version of it, but it was a kid's show. And I fucking started laughing, and I can't remember where it's from now. God. Um, yeah. I might just do the Last Kids on Earth as is it worth my time on Thursday or yeah, Thursday. So yeah. Uh, because it is on the third season. They just released the third season, and I'm fairly sure that's going to be the death knell for Netflix. Netflix show. 3 seasons and you're done. Yeah. Plus it's animated. Now that might happen, but I don't know. It's got some big names attached to it as well. You would think they would leave it, especially with both Bruce Campbell and Mark Hamill in it. Come on. And it was very under the radar kind of thing at when it came out. And the only reason why I watched it because I heard that Bruce Campbell was going to be doing a voice in it. Then I was pleasantly surprised by it. Oh, I spoiled it already. Yeah. Yeah. All right, everybody. Now I'm going to let you go for real this time. I know it's like a Minnesota goodbye, man. It's fucking taking forever. Thanks, everybody, again for watching. I will see you again tomorrow for Hellstrom episode 2. We'll see how that turns out. Until then, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you may end up saying goodbye way longer than you needed to, and just pissing off a lot of people. Who knows? Thanks, everybody. I will see you tomorrow. Until then, stay safe, be well, and take care. Have a good rest of your day, everyone. See you tomorrow.